in Star Wars Outer Rim, like I said, we're playing different smugglers, bounty hunters, things like that. The goal of the game is to achieve 10 fame, right here on your fame track. Tonight we're just going to be playing a short game. We're just going to go to 4 fame. The way that you achieve fame is by completing jobs, which are right here, turning in bounties right here, or there's also illegal cargo that you can smuggle. And if the other thing you can do is just get filthy rich, and then there's a luxury good pile you can buy from. You can also buy new ships, and each of the ships has a goal that you can achieve to get fame, as well as personal goals from your chosen character. So on your turn, there's going to be 3 steps. There's going to be a planning step, a market step, and then an encounter step. So during the planning step, you get to choose. That's when generally you're going to move around from planet to planet using your ship's movement, which is this green value here. So on the board, there's these different spots here. Those are each going to take 1 movement point, and then the landing on a planet takes a movement point as well. The other thing you can choose to do in planning phase, actually I should point out really quick, there's also these patrols that are set up around the galaxy from these different factions. So we've got the Imperials, the Hutts, the Rebels, and the Syndicate. And so if you ever run into one of these patrols when you're flying through, you generally will have to stop unless your reputation, which is on your player board here, is positive with that patrol. Then you can fly right through because they know you. If it's negative, you have to stop and you have to fight them that turn. So the other thing you can choose to do instead of moving is just collect 2,000 credits. Generally, you'll do that if you are previously failed a job on a planet and you want to retry that job. You can just take your turn to collect credits during the planning step. The other thing that you'll sometimes be forced to do, or you can also choose to do it, is spend your planning step to heal all of the damage from your ship and your character. So both your ship and your character have a yellow value, which is how much health they have, and the red value is how many dice they'll use when attacking. After your planning step, then you'll go into a market step. So you'll see there's these 6 different decks here. You can take the market step to purchase from one of the decks the top card. The cost is going to be up here, but you can pay the value in the credits to add that to your ship. There's several different things you can, to buy that thing. Sometimes, like if it's a mod, it gets added to your ship. You can also buy some cargo if you have room for it. There's also, in this green deck, there's going to be gear for your character to hold, all sorts of different things like that. You can also, during the market step before you buy, if you see something that someone else is going to really like, or if you are if what you want is not on top and you want to search for it, you can cycle a card to the bottom and replace it with the top card. You can do that once per market phase before you buy. So after your market phase, then you go into the encounter phase. And so this is when you're going to test different jobs. So, or try to accomplish jobs. It's where you're going to try to fight bounties, different things like that. So I'll go through real quick. The way that bounties work is they have these contact tokens all around the map. Let me zoom out to the other view to show. Each of the different planets has contact tokens on them, and they each have different colors. There's 3. There's white, green, and yellow. So on the bounty cards, it's going to show you what color bounty you need to search for. So this guy is right here is green, but you'll see over here this other bounty that's available is, the other one was white, this one's green. So during your encounter step, you can turn over a face down bounty on the planet that you're at and have an encounter with that character. It'll tell you what number of card to go to in this encounter deck, and then you'll read what happens to you. And sometimes you can get that character as a crew on your team. Sometimes they'll offer you a job, or sometimes they'll be the bounty that you're looking for if you have one, and you can choose to fight them. The way that jobs work is they're going to make you test skills that your character or crew have. So at the bottom here, that's not the right direction. It shows you a list of skills that your character has. So like as Boba Fett, I have stealth and tactics. So the jobs will tell you what skills you'll need to test. To do a test, you'll roll 2 dice, and then if you have the skill, you need to get at least 1 success. And anybody who's played X-Wing, these dice should look familiar. So if you have the skill, you need a success. If you don't have the skill, you need a critical success, which has a little circle in the middle of it. And then if you have the skill twice, that means you're like super skilled at it. You only need a focus or anything greater. So you roll the 2 dice. If you get the success that you need, you complete the skill test. And so jobs will often have you do several different skill tests in a row to try to see if you can accomplish that job. And then the last thing you can do is delivering cargo. That's probably the most straightforward thing. You just buy it, and then it has a destination planet that you need to deliver it to, and then it'll tell you how much money you get for that. So if you don't want to, during the encounter stuff, if you don't want to flip over a contact token or try to fight a bounty or anything like that, you can just draw a card from the region that you're in, and it'll tell you what happens there. And oftentimes, or it'll tell you on the cards, like in Takodana, you're most of the time going to try either get some crew or be able to move some contacts around. And the Ring of Kafrene is going to let you buy some fame or get some mods. So it'll tell you what kind of encounters you'll generally have there. Some of those encounter cards will have secrets on the flip side of them. When that happens, you can take an action later on. It's kind of, a lot of them are like ways that you can interact with the other players. So if we get any of those secrets, I guess I'll just know your secret's Christian. But generally, they don't come up that much. So if you're on a nav point, you'll have a nav point encounter during the encounter step. Anyway, once you've completed those 3 phases, it goes to the other player's turn, and then you just complete, or you rinse and repeat until someone gets to the set number of fame. So I think that's probably enough for us to get started.